Teammate of 52 teams of 8 rival wisdoms. Help make America wiser and kinder with antique rival wisdom team quotes that have passed the test of time to make humanity great, with words of wisdom to encourage, educate, and entertain generations for centuries. Give your kids free easy extra advantage math, spelling, and reading workbooks you can download for free at stop2think.com. Free easy math wisdom workbooks with Octo-Repetition to grow math self-confidence. Free easy alpha Cypher coded puzzles teach letters, numbers, and phrases using antique wisdoms that encourage and educate. And since time is money, practice reading faster with 52 teams of antique rival wisdoms that have passed the test of time to encourage, educate, and entertain generations for centuries. Team quote 8.1. It's easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. Leonardo da Vinci 1452–1519. This wise observation from da Vinci speaks to a fundamental truth about human behavior and the nature of resistance. As both a scientist and artist who studied natural phenomena, da Vinci understood how patterns, once established, become increasingly difficult to change. The insight operates on multiple levels. Habits become stronger over time and harder to break. Small problems are easier to address before they grow larger. Patterns of behavior become more entrenched with repetition. Initial resistance requires less energy than later intervention. Prevention is often easier than cure. I find it particularly meaningful that this comes from someone who was both a careful observer of nature and a master of multiple disciplines. Da Vinci would have seen this principle at work in everything from the flow of water to human psychology. Have you noticed this pattern in your own experience? How resisting something at the beginning often requires less effort than trying to change it once it's established. Team quote 8.2. 'Tis love that makes the world go round, my baby. Charles Dickens 1812–1870. This tender line from Dickens captures both a universal truth and a personal intimacy with its mix of cosmic scope, the world go round, and the affectionate address, my baby. It's characteristic of Dickens' ability to blend grand themes with warm human connection. The phrase, makes the world go round, suggests that love is the fundamental force driving human activity, what gives life its meaning and momentum, the energy that keeps society functioning, the motivation behind our most significant actions, what connects us all in the great cycle of life. The addition of my baby transforms what could be a purely philosophical statement into something more personal and tender. It's as if Dickens is saying that while love moves the entire world, it's most powerfully felt in our intimate connections. I find it particularly touching that Dickens, known for his sharp social criticism, also recognized love as the essential force in human life. Have you observed how love in its many forms does seem to be what motivates and sustains so much of human endeavor? Team quote 8.3. Ignorance is the mother of all evils. François Rabelais 1494–1553. This profound statement from Rabelais, the French Renaissance writer and scholar, traces the root cause of many human problems back to a single source. As a humanist who valued knowledge and education, his identification of ignorance as the source of evil is particularly meaningful. The metaphor of ignorance as a mother suggests that ignorance breeds and gives birth to other problems. Many evils are descendants of this one primary condition. Like a family tree, problems stem from this common ancestor. Just as a mother precedes her children, ignorance precedes evil acts. Understanding this relationship helps us address problems at their source. The use of all is particularly striking, suggesting that ignorance isn't just one source of evil, but the fundamental source. This aligns with the humanist belief that education and knowledge are key to improving the human condition. Have you noticed this pattern? How many problems, whether personal or societal, can often be traced back to some form of ignorance or lack of understanding. Team quote 8.4. Toleration is good for all, or it is good for none. Edmund Burke 1729–1797. This powerful statement from Burke makes a crucial point about the universal nature of tolerance, that it can't be selectively applied if it's to have any meaning. As a political philosopher, Burke understood that principles must be applied consistently to be valid. The structure of the quote, "good for all" or "good for none," presents an absolute binary that rejects selective or conditional tolerance, emphasizes the universal nature of the principle, challenges those who want tolerance for themselves but not others, suggests tolerance is indivisible, points out the hypocrisy of demanding tolerance while being intolerant. I find it particularly meaningful that this comes from Burke, who, despite being conservative in many ways, recognized that principles like tolerance couldn't be applied selectively based on personal preference or prejudice. Have you observed how demands for tolerance sometimes come with double standards, where people expect it for themselves, but are reluctant to extend it to others? Team quote 8.5. Experience is a good school, but the fees are high. Heinrich Heine 1797–1856. This witty observation from Heine captures both the value and the cost of learning through experience. The metaphor of experience as a school with high fees is particularly clever because it acknowledges both the educational benefit and the price we pay for life's lessons. The structure of the quote is interesting. The first part affirms the value, a good school. The second part reveals the catch, but the fees are high. Together they suggest that valuable learning often comes at a significant cost. The fees, he refers to, might include time spent learning through trial and error, pain or disappointment from mistakes, resources expended figuring things out, opportunities lost while gaining experience, emotional costs of learning the hard way. Have you found this to be true in your own life? That experience, while being an excellent teacher, often charges a steep price for its lessons. Team quote 8.6. Light is the task where many share the toil. Homer 484 BC, 425 BC. This insightful observation from Homer captures a fundamental truth about collective effort. Coming from the author of the Iliad and Odyssey, who often depicted both individual and group endeavors, this wisdom about shared labor carries particular weight. The quote elegantly expresses how burdens become lighter when distributed among many. Collaboration can make difficult tasks manageable. Community effort reduces individual strain. Working together transforms heavy loads into lighter ones. Unity creates efficiency. I find it particularly meaningful that Homer uses the word share, rather than simply saying, many do the toil. It emphasizes the collaborative, communal nature of the effort. It's not just about multiple people working separately, but about truly sharing the burden. Have you experienced this principle in action? How tasks that might be overwhelming for one person become manageable when shared among many? Team quote 8.7. In youth we learn, in age we understand. Marie von Ebner-Eschenbach, 1830–1916. This insightful observation from von Ebner-Eschenbach makes a subtle but important distinction between learning and understanding. She captures how life experience transforms raw knowledge into deeper wisdom. The parallel structure reveals several layers of meaning. Youth accumulates information, age provides context. Learning is about acquiring, understanding is about integrating. Knowledge comes first, wisdom follows later. Facts are gathered in youth, meaning is discovered with time. Information precedes interpretation. I find it particularly meaningful that she doesn't diminish either stage. Both learning and understanding have their proper time and importance. The quote suggests that we need both, the eager absorption of youth and the reflective comprehension of age. Have you noticed this pattern in your own life? How experiences that you learned about when younger take on new and deeper meaning as you age? Team quote 8.8. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. Saint Jerome 347 AD, 420 AD. This quote from Saint Jerome presents a powerful philosophy of continuous self-improvement through a memorable, almost rhythmic structure. It's fascinating that a message from the 4th century remains so relevant to modern discussions of personal development and excellence. Saint Jerome, known primarily for translating the Bible into Latin, the Vulgate, embodied this principle in his own scholarly work. He continually revised and improved his translations, demonstrating the very progression he describes, from good to better to best. The quote's three-part progression suggests that excellence isn't a destination but a journey. It discourages complacency at any level of achievement. The phrase, "never let it rest," is particularly striking. It implies that even when we reach what we consider best, there might still be room for improvement. This mindset has influenced fields far beyond Jerome's religious context, from education and sports to business and personal development. It speaks to the human capacity for continuous growth while acknowledging that improvement happens in stages, not all at once. And if you'd like to help raise school test scores and self-confidence, you can give your kids free Easy Extra Advantage math, spelling and reading workbooks you can download for free at stop2think.com or buy at educationstopshate.com. Free Easy Math Wisdom workbooks with Octo-Repetition to grow math self-confidence. You'll get plenty of repetitive practice of age ranges and averages of our 52 teams of 8 quote authors. Free Easy Alpha Cypher coded puzzles teach letters, numbers, and phrases using antique wisdoms that encourage and educate. Can you decode this Cypher quote of encouragement using either our learning to spell or just for fun instructions? And since time is money, practice reading faster with 52 teams of antique rival wisdoms that have passed the test of time to encourage, educate, and entertain generations for centuries. We offer printed versions and time videos with background music. Sign up for free weekly emails of 52 teams of antique rival wisdom workbooks with easy math, spelling, and reading practice. And if you'd like to get paid for sharing our wearable wisdoms, keep this in mind. Everyone I know wears a shirt, and most of us change them daily, so change your shirt and change the world. Social equalities are blatantly subliminal antique positive wisdoms repetitively shared without saying a word. This applies to all our wearable shareable wisdoms, like pretty witty baby onesies and baby tees that you and others will see and read multiple times a day. The same is true with pretty witty kids, but they'll also share these wisdoms with anyone that can read at daycare or school. Youthful truths let your kids gain confidence sharing antique wisdoms with their friends. Imagine them sharing words of wisdom with classmates and teachers. I think, therefore I think tees I wear is a super easy way to share words of wisdom that have passed the test of time. Our social equalities help make us all wiser and kinder with blatantly subliminal messages, promoting a more fair and equal opportunity society for all. And don't forget our giftwisdoms.com for birthdays and holidays that makes it easy to share the wisdom with clothing, coffee mugs, and magnets. So do the future a favor by encouraging, educating, and entertaining with words of wisdom that have passed the test of time to make us all wiser and kinder. With wearable wisdoms to fit babies, kids, and adults, you can clothe a whole family, city, or state. Join the 52 of 8 today at 52of8.com.